I miss them good old days. We used to gather around the TV.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Broketv123. I'm your host, Rome, and this is raw and unedited, unscripted, and unsponsored. And for those who don't know it, this is a variety show, simple podcast. Talk about all kinds of stuff. Check out my other podcasts. I've got like over 30. So this is part 3 of talking about 80s shows. Now, sorry, I'm trying to cram as much as I can in, and it's like really hard to do within 10 minutes. But that's why I'm doing it in parts. Anyway, so to continue with the 80s shows, Miami Vice. Now, don't let your jaw hit the floor too hard. I have only seen the first episode of Miami Vice. Yeah, I know, slap in the face. But I've talked to other people too recently, and be like, "Dude, did you ever watch that? You know, whatever." And like, nah, not really. Couldn't really get into it. I guess it's not for everybody. I guess whatever. But it's about people who live in Miami, Florida, and everybody's rich, and there's a bunch of drugs and guns and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's basically, from what I understand, it's like watching Scarface, but in a TV show. If you've ever seen Scarface, though, there's you. A good movie. It's about a guy who's an immigrant, and he comes over and he becomes this big-ass drug lord. Yeah. Anyway, 21 Jump Street. So these kids, they look like kids. One of my favorite characters on there, Johnny Depp. He was like the main character, I guess, almost. I know that's arguable. But anyway, him and a bunch of younger other people they're cops, and they go undercover at a high school to do drug busts. So they pose as kids in high school. They made a movie. They made 2 movies, part 1 and part 2, and they're hilarious. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill play the cops, and there's other people in there too, and it's just hilarious. Unsolved Mysteries. Man, when that show came on, I mean, there's not a soul on earth that it didn't scare the crap out of. Just the music alone. But as this guy, he's basically talking about all kinds of different stuff, like unsolved mysteries, like people who are missing. Like this one day she went missing and nobody knows where she went. Had this really creepy looking guy. The way he talked and everything was really creepy. He was the host. But they talk about unsolved murders and all that stuff. My favorite thing about the show, besides the music or whatever that scared the crap out of me, was when they went, like, you get to the end of the show and they'd be like, update. And they'd be like, yes, they found that SOB. They killed that girl, man. Or something like that. They'd be like, update. It was always good. So-and-so has been captured. Da-da-da-da-da. That was the highlight of the show. Not when it first came out, but they eventually got to that. So anytime you saw that, it was like, yeah, fry him. Anyway. The Fall Guy. Didn't watch it religiously, but I watched it pretty good. About a guy, he's a fall guy. He's a stuntman. They made a movie. No comment. Anyway, the TV show was really good. This guy, he had this cool truck on there, and like I said, once back in the days, it was all about what you drove. Had a cool car, cool truck, cool motorcycle, cool helicopter. There was a show, I can't remember the name of it. There was a show where My brother's going to kick me in the head for this, but it was a big rig, but then it like opened up in the front and it turned into a helicopter. It was like, you know, can't remember that freaking name. Anyway, look it up. It's a great show. Simon and Simon. I can't really do the music on it, but anyway, two guys that were, I don't know what the hell they were. They were private investigators, I think, something like that. It was more of an adult TV show. It wasn't really kids. I remember being a good show though, but yeah. But it was, you know, kind of comedy-ish, dramatic comedy. Yeah. Saved by the Bell. And what's weird, I thought that started in the 90s, but apparently it started in the 80s. It was about a group of kids. It was a comedy show. Well, sometimes it was mainly a comedy show. Teenagers at a school. It's basically where it took place. And sometimes it'd take place at the guy's home or something like that. Zach Morris was like the main character or whatever. And one of the coolest things about the show, he could like freeze time. He'd be like, time out, and everybody would be like, and he would blah, 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 blah. Sometimes it got pretty intense though. There was a fight between him and Jesse Slater. No. Anyway, him and the other guy, the guy with the black curly hair, they started busting each other up at one episode or whatever, I remember. But yeah, I grew up on that show. It went into the college years. And I've seen every episode. They did like a reunion. It was freaking awesome. Look it up. They did a tribute to Screech, a little nerdy little kid on there who Dustin Diamond. He's the one. He died a couple years back. I don't know how he died. Just look it up. Anyway, Married with Children, love and marriage, love and marriage, go together like a horse and carriage. Great TV show. Al Bundy and Peggy and the two kids and the dog. They all live in this house. They're all dirt poor, although they have this really nice house. Al's he's the husband. He's a shoe salesman, and it's so bad. But there's a whole compilation of him talking smack to people, mostly women. It is so wrong. There's no way they could show that on TV today. They would. It's so bad, but it's so funny. But everybody in the TV show, I believe, is still living. The main characters and everything. Christina Applegate played the daughter on there, and she has MS really bad right now. But she's a fighter, though. She's awesome. Let's see what else we got. Roseanne. It was a comedy TV show, but once again, it was kind of like Saved by the Bell, where it was kind of like comedy and drama, and a lot of funny parts in it. But there was one part that I really remember that always got to me, where Roseanne's the mom and Dan's the dad, and they have three children, excuse me. And Roseanne's sister comes over, and her husband or boyfriend or whatever he is, he beat the crap out of her. And Dan's just like, I'll be right back. And he's like a big dude. Like, I'd hate to meet him in a dark alley. But anyway, he basically goes and beats the crap out of the guy. And then next thing you know, he gets arrested and all that. And that was like kind of like one of them shock moments of the TV show back in the day. It was like, like, go Dan. Done the same thing. So, yeah. Well, anyway, so we'll continue this on part 4. And it'll probably be the last part that I'll do for 80s TV shows. I know there's a lot more that I could go through and everything, but it's just so much to talk about. Anyway, so I'll see you on the next one. My name's Rome. This has been Broketv123. Thanks for sticking around, and leave a comment. Appreciate y'all. Take care.
I still have my old 80s tennis shoes. They stink, though.